Oh no, it's time to go turfing with Duggar. Hey, g'day, Duggar and Buds here on a real hot January afternoon in North Queensland. I've got an absolute stinker of a job to do this afternoon. I've got a ute load full of turf. So I thought I'd make a quick video and show you how I lay some turf down. What do you reckon, Buds? You up for a bit of work this afternoon, mate? That's what I thought. Alright, let's go laying some turf with Duggar. I'm doing a few fix-up projects around the digs at the moment. And one of them has been removing a garden area from beside the house that was a bit untidy. I've moved away some rocks and an old fish pond that used to be there. And I think it's time to make it look a bit schmicko by putting down some nice new turf. Look, I'm no expert on how you lay turf. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can make how-to videos and show you a lot better than I can. But as always, I usually just show you how I do things here on the digs, and most of the time it works out pretty good. Any good job takes a bit of preparation. So the first job I've got to do before I start laying that grass down is finish preparing this area. I'll just quickly rip down the bottom of the yard and grab a couple of trailer loads of dirt across here. Then we should be good to go. Alright, to pick up the dirt, I'm going to need one of these, two of these, and one of these. I told you I've got some changes happening in the alligator patch this year, and this is going to be one of them. But luckily enough, it means that I've also got a bit of dirt spare that I can use for my new turf upstairs. That's a real shame to be doing this. I grew some nice tomatoes here last year. Oh well, one of those changes. Alright, that ought to do it. Let's take this lot up and spread it around, get it ready for the new grass. Just got to do that about 4 or 5 times more. Then we can get round to laying some of this new grass down. I'll get back to you. Right, that was pretty hard work and took a bit longer than expected. But the prep work's done now. It's time to get some of this turf off the back of my ute and throw it down here before the rains come and wash all this dirt away. You lot gonna help? I didn't think so. I picked up some really good quality buffalo here. I've always found that buffalo is the best type of grass to grow in North Queensland. This stuff will grow well in full sun and under your shady trees as well. I picked this stuff up from a turf farm out at Kelso. That's out Whoop Whoop in Townsville. You can always get it from your local hardware shop, but that stuff comes from a fair way away. And it's not always going to be in great condition by the time you get it into your yard. This stuff was cut within 20 minutes of me making a phone call this morning. Half an hour later I drove out, picked it up. She should establish very quickly. It's not too complicated a process. Just make sure she's in pretty tight together and fairly flat. And that ought to do it. Alright, I've got a few more to do, I better get cracking. I always make sure it's pushed up pretty tight against the other pieces. That way there's less room for weeds to grow up in between your pieces of turf. that's pretty much it for an afternoon's work, isn't it, buds? So there you go, some turf laid down, and I'll run across the whole area. She looks a whole lot different now. Alright, I've done another hour or two's work this morning and finished up all the little bits and pieces. That looks pretty good. Righto, as you can see, I'm stuffed. Catch you next time. Dugger out.